the DA's campaign in this election focused on change that stops corruption, delivers better services and creates jobs, because we want to make a difference in the lives of all South Africans. We are honoured and privileged to have their support. This election was a tipping point in our democracy, and we are all stronger because of it. We are now in government in 4 metros and in municipalities across several provinces. We are truly an alternative government in waiting. On the 3rd of August 2016, South Africa sent a very clear message to its politicians and governments. Not only was that message a rejection of the politics of the stomach that has characterized the last 22 years of ANC rule, but it was an endorsement of the politics of clean, efficient government, the politics of putting people ahead of party, and the politics of ensuring that the needs of all South Africans are prioritized. South Africa must always be put first. This was a rejection of the notion that South Africans are subjects of an increasingly out-of-touch Jacob Zuma and his ANC cronies who rule from on high. It was an acknowledgement that democracy, constitutionalism, and the rule of law trump the corrupt, crony-based maladministration that has driven so many municipalities to failure. So what did we learn from the local government elections? Firstly, it taught us that the people of our country are not voting fodder. They are aware of the political realities that face us, and they will neither reward race-based divisiveness nor political grandstanding and self-enrichment. No political party, Deputy President, regardless of its heritage, is entitled to their votes. Secondly, the notion of an invincible ANC has crumbled. With the loss of no less than 3 metropolitan municipalities, not to mention numerous other local and district municipalities that have changed governments, the myth that the ANC cannot be defeated is fast becoming an old wives' tale that nobody believes anymore. Jacob Zuma famously said that the ANC would rule until Jesus returned, and for many municipalities, the second coming is well and truly here. We learned that democracy is alive and well in South Africa. We learned that our electoral commission, although not without its faults, can conduct elections that are free and for the most part fair, and generate results that political parties and South Africa's people can respect. But we also learned that Gwede Mantashe is a sore loser who doesn't really understand our electoral system, a system he and the ANC were quite happy to live with while it benefited them. He doesn't understand that the Constitution itself makes provision for the proportional representation system. We learnt in Nelson Mandela Bay and in Tshwane that the ANC has no concept of how to be an opposition. Their behavior during the inaugural council meetings was despicable and disruptive, and in every instance worse than the worst behavior seen in this House, which those seated on my right have been quick to condemn and even use force to prevent. What is heartening, though, is that the new management of council in Nelson Mandela Bay and Tshwane used democracy and the rules of order rather than violence to control the situation. We have also learned that human life is cheap in South African politics. No less than 13 candidates lost their lives in the run-up to these elections, with the majority of those being ANC candidates on the wrong side of factional battles within that organization. The most recent tragedy was that of the assassination of DA Ward Councillor Hannes Baatjies, allegedly by an ANC candidate before his swearing in at Katelopele municipality. His death forced a hung council, something his political opponents clearly desired. May all those who lost their lives rest in peace. These elections have been a turning point in our new democracy. A tidal wave of change has washed across South Africa. The ANC has lost control of metro and municipal budgets totaling hundreds of billions of rand, resulting in an end to the days of tenderpreneurs and gravy-train politicians in those municipalities. Now think about this and let it sink in. When the President comes to work in Parliament, he comes to the DA-run city of Cape Town. When he flies to his office at the Union Buildings in Pretoria, he works in the DA-run city of Tshwane. And when he meets Uncle Gweezy at Latuli House, he does so in the DA-run city of Johannesburg. And when he returns home to his multi-million rand homestead in Nkandla, he does so in an IFP-run municipality. Nah, that's got to hurt. Speaker, the people of South Africa have spoken. Change has arrived in South Africa, and with it, efficient, caring, responsive, and clean governments. Where the DA governs, we govern well, and we look forward to rolling our brand of governance out to the many more municipalities we control post-2016. Thank you.